So what I want to do here before this gets stupidly long is I want to read something to you, and I want you to focus on this, all right? I wrote an article, and I posted it in my free newsletter. People, please, subscribe to my free newsletter. You're going to get all kinds of information there that you're not going to get here, all right? So link in the description of this video. This is an article I wrote just yesterday, and it covers what I'm getting bombarded with. I've been talking about a liquidity crisis for a long time, but as of late, I've been kind of screaming from rooftops a little more about it. And I want to bring the system more to the forefront of your mind, how it really works, okay? If you want a copy of this, feel free to make a copy of yourself. If you do subscribe to my free newsletter, link in the description of this video, make a copy of it. You know, I made a copy of it, so why can't you? You have my permission to do that. Share this stuff. All right, look, people. So I want to talk about what's coming down the pike. I think you all know that, but I want to outline this in more detail. I want you to pay attention to this. It's very important. So the title of this article, A Complete Lockup of the System Will Occur. In fact, I think I'm going to use it for the title of this video. So by me, of course. Now, why is the world awash in never-ending and inflating debt? Question, why? Okay, moreover, why does global debt keep expanding relentlessly every day, every month, every year in what seems like some kind of twisted mass insanity? That's what it seems like, doesn't it? Duh, honestly, really. Okay, what is the real truth behind this? What is the real freaking truth? Well, here it is, people. The answer is simple and frightening. The expansion of debt cannot ever stop. You know that if you've been following this blog. I've been telling you this since time immemorial. Additionally, you know this as well, people, it must constantly and ceaselessly be expanded on exponentially. It can never remain static. Okay, here we go. What this means is that the amount of debt being borrowed into existence cannot even remain static. It must be expanded on vastly every moment, every day, every week, every month, every freaking year, just to allow the system itself to function day to day. If the amount of debt being borrowed into existence were to remain at its current level, just, static, like I just said, without being expanded on, the entire system would freeze up in an instant. That's what's going to happen here, okay? We're going to end up with a liquidity crisis, a liquidity freeze. This whole thing is going to stop. And don't you dare for a nanosecond believe it's just going to be just a miracle that it happens or a curse of the devil, whatever it's going to be. It's by design. Let us move forward here. The insanity of all this actually gets even worse. Despite the fact, pay attention to this part, despite the fact that global debt is continually expanding, there's not enough of it. Henceforth, what's coming down the pike? Liquidity crisis, okay? Pay attention. As most people who follow my work are already aware, the current central bank-run global financial system is debt-based. And at its core, what this means is every conceivable reason, pay attention to what I'm going to tell you, every conceivable reason, including things which the average person could not even dream of, must and will be utilized to continually find reasons and create more reasons to borrow cash into existence. For example, new COVID variants, people, so they can throw more cash at it. Wars and expanding wars too. As of late, the two biggest machinations being forced upon the people of the world and are currently being used as mechanisms to pull epic sums into the now by more borrowing are, number one, global disease processes like COVID and the various variants thereof. Also expanding wars. Just a coincidence that today we just happen to get two new variants out? People, they're not going to let this stop. Hold on. I just dropped paper. Okay. Now, here we go. Here's the second half I want you to read. I want you to pay attention to while I read. It's this crisis-to-crisis economic model which has given world leaders like President Retard a blank check, spending which is not even allowed to be questioned, as they have turned this upside down on the people of the world as anyone who now dares question as to why all this crisis-to-crisis spending is being done, is then branded as being unpatriotic. You see how they sold this to the people? Or a person who does not care about helping anyone. Are you ready? Not one mainstream media source will ever be allowed to explain the truth behind this crisis-to-crisis borrowing debt expansion mechanism, nor will a single world leader or a central banker explain it to you. Will it ever end? That's the question. Here's my answer. Yes. The system, despite ever-expanding debt, will eventually become illiquid. I've been explaining this for a while now. A lack of liquidity in the system, despite finding ever more reasons to borrow, will eventually reach a saturation point. I call this a moment of maximum saturation. This saturation point will and is already, people pay attention to this, is already manifesting itself in the form of skyrocketing inflation worldwide. The inevitable end of the current debt-based system is rapidly approaching, and a move to yet another central bank-run system is coming. A system of extreme control, a cashless system where every single transaction is tracked down to the 10,000th of a cent. Do yourself a favor. Click on the link down here. Subscribe to my free newsletter. Make yourself a copy of this, okay? And give it out to everyone you can think about. Or share my newsletter. People need to see this. They need to hear this. You know, this is a very important document in my view. And I want everyone to have a copy of it. And I want everybody to freaking get it out there. It's totally out of control. Anyway, with that said, people, look, that's where we stand. I really feel like this has been an important video. Now, before I let you go, I want to give a shout out to Chuck Barone, who's going to do a take on what's happening in real estate. A lot of you write to me about real estate. Not really my department, okay? Chuck Barone, this is what he does, all right? Go check out Chuck. His video should be out in just a little bit. He's going to cover what's happening, what's really happening that you're not supposed to know with regard to the real estate market. Well, I'm going to place a link to Chuck's channel in the description of this video. So when you finish here, click on that. Go check out Chuck's video. I think it's going to be an important one. We did converse earlier about this. So people, look, you get it. I know you do. We've never seen anything like this before. And this document that I just read to you, I think this is critical. I think people need to become aware of how the system works and what's actually being done to them. And it's not by accident. All right, I'm going to ask you to share this video. I'm going to ask you again, subscribe to my free newsletter, link in description. Make yourself a copy of this and share this stuff, people. Get it out there, all right? Like I always tell you, we need each other more than ever. We really, really do. If we understand what's going on, really going on here, maybe if we can get the word out more, maybe we can make a freaking difference, people. But I'm telling you, we're getting down to the wire here. We really, really are. All right, look, this guy here loves you a lot. I mean that. Please share the video. Comment here and go check out Chuck. Link in the description of this video. Usually gets his videos out around 2:30, something along that time. Anyway, check that out. Love all of you. See you in the morning.